All right, so you are welcome to the BI Analyst Hub. And then on this channel, I help you master Excel, Power BI, and SQL. So if today is your first time watching my video, I would like you to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then also turn on your notifications so that anytime I post a new video, you'll be the first person to see it. All right, so I will leave a link to the data set in the comment section. So do well to check the comment section for the link to the data set. Perfect. Now when you download the data set, just open a blank workbook like this. We are going to import the data that we are going to use. So open a blank workbook and then go to just come to data. So when you're on data, just you can choose any of these one, but just click on the drop down here, get data, and then from file. When you hover on file, our data is in the workbook format, so we are going to choose what from workbook. If the data was to be in a test or CSV, would have choose these ones. But then since our data is in a workbook format or is an Excel format, we are just going to select the first one from workbook. All right, so let's locate where our data is. So this is our data, right? So we select it and then we import. So the moment you click on import, you'll be presented with the Power Query editor so that you can proceed from there. All right, so this is the preview. Because our data we have multiple sheets, so we have three sheets. That's why you can see the sheet here like this. So I'll click on select multiple items, and then the first one is what the booking sheet, the customers sheet, and then what the destination sheet. So this sheet one is the sheet that you have currently open, right? So we are not going to select that. So our data needs to be transformed. So what we are going to do is we are going to click on what transform data. So when I click on that, I'll be sent to the Power Query editor for me to do all my cleaning and then the transformation. Perfect. All right, so this is the Power Query editor, right? This is the Power Query editor. So what we are going to do is we are going to go through our data and see where we need to if maybe you want to delete something or maybe add something, you can do it here, right? Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Control A to select all the columns. I'll come to transform and I'll just click on detect data type. So the data type has been automatically detected for me. So I don't think we have any cleaning or transformation to do on the bookings page, right? So the bookings page will serve as what our transactional sheet or our transactional table, right? Perfect. So let's come to the customers. We have the customer ID, the full name, blah blah blah. So this one too, we don't have any transformation. But what I want us to do here is to group the ages, right? To group the ages. So when you check here, the age starts from 18 years to what? Sorry, to 69 years, right? So I want to group them, right? I want to group them. So in order to do that, I will just select the column like this, the age column. I'll come to add column, and then on add column, I'll just click on conditional column. So when you click on conditional column, you get something like this. So the conditional column serves as the if statement or the if function when we are working with the formulas and functions, right? Perfect. So I'm going to name this as what age group, and then I'm going to see if the age, right, is equal to or less than, so is equal to or less than 29 years, then I will see this is from what 18 years to 29. So the next one, I'll add another clause. The same thing. I'm going to say if the age is less than or equal to 41, Then we are going to see what this is what 30 years to maybe 41 years, right? So I'll add another clause. So if the age is less than or equal to this time around, I'll say 53. Then I'll say this is 42 to 53, right? Perfect. So this one too, I'll add another clause. Say if the age is less than or equal to let's say 65, then I'll say this is what 54 to 65, right? Perfect. And then the last one, the else statement is going to be what 66 plus, right? So if the customers, any customer that falls, that whose age is about is equal to or above 66, then we are going to say 66 plus. So we are going to change the plus here to the plus symbol when we exit from here, right? So I'm just going to click on OK. And now when you watch here, see we have everything here, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the column, right click, and then I will say replace values. So the plus spellings, I'm going to replace it. So we are going to find this plus, and I'm going to replace it with what? The plus symbol, right? Perfect. So click on OK. Then you see we have what? The plus symbol here, right? Perfect. Now we can, it's automatically change to test, right? So this is what we want. Perfect. Now let's see if we have if there are still, maybe cleaning. I think we are done, right? So Control A to select all the columns, transform, and then I will detect the data types, right? Perfect. So you can also do them one by one, right? So you can click here and then change the data type, click here and then change the data type. But then if you have like maybe 50 or many so many columns, you don't have to do them one by one. You just have to do Control A to select all the columns, then come to transform, and then you detect the data types automatically. Perfect. So now let's go to destination sheet or table, and then let's see if we have any cleaning. So this one too, I don't think we have any cleaning. So Control A, let's detect data type. Perfect. Everything is working perfectly, right? Yes. So in our analysis, what we are going to do is we are we are going to make use of time intelligence, analysis, right? So when I say time intelligence analysis, I mean the monthly trends, the year, the weekly, the daily. Do you see that? Perfect. So what we are going to do is when we come to the bookings table, we have a booking date here. So when you check here, yes, so we have a booking date here. Do you see that? Perfect. But before that, before we go to the time intelligence, analysis, I would want to change the date, the date, the data type for the date to, date. You see now, at the moment, is on what date and time, right? But then I'm not going to make analysis on time, so I'm just going to change it to what only date. You see that? So I'm just going to add a step. Then this one will be changed to date. The same thing to date. You can get rid of the travel date and then the return date, right? Because you're not going to make analysis on that. But you can also leave it like that, because in the future, if you want to make any changes, you can come back and do that. Do you see that? So this, they are now what date, not date and time. Do you see that? Perfect. So now what we are going to do is select the booking sheet or the booking table, just right click and then duplicate, right? You are going to duplicate the booking table. So the reason why we duplicated the booking table is that we are going to make use of the booking date, right? We are going to make use of the booking date. So when you come here, I'm just going to rename this as what my date table or my calendar table. So I'm just going to say date, so date table, or you can also say calendar table, right? Perfect. Now that we have the date table, what we can do is we can get rid of all the other tables except what we can get rid of all the other table except the booking date, right? The booking date column. So what we can do is right click, and then you can say remove other columns. So remove other columns, and then here we have multiple or duplicate dates, right? You have duplicate dates. So Right, click again, and then we are going to see remove duplicate, right? Remove duplicate. So this will, serve as uh, this booking date will be a unique date, right? Will be unique date. So when you check here, see we have first for only one column, like one row. This is second, this is third. So before that, it was, if customer books, maybe you have maybe 50 customers booking on the same date, we are going to have on the 1st of January 2023 repeating maybe 20 times or 50 times, right? But then in this case, we have it only once, right? Perfect. So this is what we want. Now let's add the remaining or the other columns that we will need in our in our dashboard. So we go to add column, just click on the date, and then because it is only 1 year, right? We are dealing with only 2023, so there is no need for us to extract the year. So what we can do is extract the month. So we start from the month number. So this one we can say this is what the month number. So month number. Then come to booking date again. Click on over on the month, and then this time around we are going to check what or get the month name. Now here, what we are going to do is we are going to transform it. We don't want to see all the month name, right? So we are going to transform it to only see the first three characters, right? So first characters, so we type three and hit OK. So we see we have first three characters. So come back to booking date again, come to add column, click on the date, and then the week. Should we do week? No, the day. Hover on day of week, click on day of week, and then we should get something like 0 to 6. Perfect. And then come back to booking date, click on date, hover on day, and then select what day of name or name of day or day name. So select this column, come to transform, extract first characters, and then type 3 and then say okay. Perfect. So we have everything that we need, right? Perfect. So do we have to do anything else? Do you have to do anything else? Okay, I think we are done here, right? We don't need the quarter, we don't need any other thing. Perfect. So I think this is okay, right? Perfect. So in case we have any other things to do in the future, we will come back and then add it, right? So for now, go to home, click on load, and then click on what? Close and load to. So if you have been watching my previous videos, I made extensive explanation on the close and then the close and load to, right? So this one we are closing and load to. So now what we are going to do is we are going to only create connection between the data, right? Then we are going to add it to our data model. So when you select this type of when you select the only create connection and then add to data model, our data will not be loaded to our normal worksheet like this here, but then it will be loaded to our data model. So when I click on OK, you see you will not see the data here, but then you see we are creating connection with our data here. Do you see that? Perfect. So it is loading. Let's wait for it to load. So perfect. So 2000 rows, 200. You see that? Perfect. So that is that. So we normally close and load to, and then we create data. We add to our data model whenever we have multiple, tables, right? And then also whenever we have maybe uh, more than 1 million rows, right? So Excel is able to take, I think, 1.6 or 1.4 million rows. But if you have something like maybe 2 million, 5 million, 10 million rows, you will have to what? Add to your data label, right? Perfect. Sorry, your data model. Perfect. So now we are done with the cleaning and then the transformation. What we are going to do is to connect the tables, right? So for now we don't have any connection between the tables, so we have to connect the tables. But before we connect the tables, I want us to do something here. Just select any cell here, and then do control C, right? Do control C to copy the cell here. So just follow what I'm doing and then you understand. So come to power pivot, then come to manage. So when you click on manage, you'll be presented with the power pivot, screen here. So don't do anything here, right? Don't select anything here, right? Just click on paste. Just click on paste. Then you will get the paste preview here. So instead of renaming our table name as pasted table, we are going to delete it, and then we are going to see all measures or calculations, right? All measures, right? Or calculations, whatever you want to do. So click on OK. So you ask yourself, why did we do this? So in the future, we are going to write DAX functions, right? Or DAX measures or measures. So what we are going to do is we are going to store all our measures or all our calculations in this table. So you see, you have the bookings table, the customers, the destination table, and the date table. Then we also have what the measures. So all the measures table is where we are going to store our measures, right? Perfect. So what we are going to do here is click on switch to normal workbook, and then you can press the escape key to exit it, right? Perfect. So now let me show you something here. This is our table, right? These are our tables, but then there is no connection between the tables. So when you take the booking table does not have any connection with the customers table. The customers table does not have any connection with the destination. The destination does not have any connection with the date table. So what we are going to do is what we are going to create our data model, right? We are going to model our data, right? Perfect. So what we can do is to come to Power Pivot, come to Measure, and then on Measure we have two view. We have the data view, and then we have what the diagram view. So click on the diagram view. This is where we are going to create the relationship between our tables, right? So this is the diagram view. So with the diagram view, you will see all the tables that you have in your data. Perfect. So for now, I have, let me bring the bookings table down here. This is the date table. Then we have what are all measures. So this one will not create any relationship between them. All right. So the reason why I brought the bookings table down here is because the bookings table is going to serve as our fact table, right? Perfect. So now we are going to connect the customer ID in the customers table. So the customer ID in the customers table serve as the primary key, right? And then the customer ID in the bookings table serve as what? The foreign key. So we are going to connect the foreign key to the primary key, right? Perfect. So you see there will be what one to many relationship. Now the one to many relationship means that here is one because here it contains only what unique values. That is why it is termed as what primary key. But then here it contains what duplicate key. I duplicate values here. Now, let me explain it to you in the simplest way. So, in the customers table here, right, the customer appears only once, right? Yes, it contains unique value because the customer appears only once, right? So, if you have 10 customers, they all have their unique keys that identify them, right? Perfect. But then when it comes to the bookings table here, the customer ID here can appear multiple times, right? So this is the scenario. One customer, right, in the customers table can make 10 bookings a day or can make 20 bookings a week or a month or a year. Do you get it? Yes. So or that particular customer's details will appear in the bookings table multiple times. Do you see that? Perfect. But then that particular customer has only one key, right, in the customers table, so it will appear once. That's why you see one to many relationships. So the hash or the asterisk here means many, right? So you always have to make sure you have what one to many relationship, right? Perfect. So this is also the same as what the destination. So we are going to connect the destination ID to the destination ID here. So this we have what primary key and then what foreign key. Perfect. So the same thing, this one here, we are going to connect the booking date, right? So this date will be, connected to the booking date here. You see that? So this one will be what one to many because here in the booking date, you remember we removed all the duplicates. That's why it is saying what one to many. Perfect. So this is what we have right here. This is what we have. Something like this, right? Perfect. So now we have created our relationship, right? We have created the relationship that we need. So we can just switch back to our workbook. Then now there's what relationship between the tables. Perfect. So now since we have the relationship between the tables, what we can do here is what to start. Inserting our pivot table, right? So or start creating our pivot table. So if you have been following my videos, you know how to create a pivot table, right? So we come to the insert tab. So on the insert tab, you see pivot table. Just click on pivot table and then you don't do anything here. Excel will know that we have a data model, right? So it says choose where you want your data, your pivot table report to be placed. We have what existing worksheets. That's what sheet one. Then it's will be placed here. Then use this workbook's data model, right? Perfect. So we click on OK, and then this is the pivot table that we have, and then this is what all the data or all the tables that we have in our data, right? Perfect. So this is what we have here. Perfect. All right. So now since we have all our data, all our tables, and then the columns, everything cleaned, we can start writing our DAX, right? Or we can start writing our measures. So what we are going to do is the first measure that we are going to write. So you go to Power Pivot, and then you go to click on measure, and then you say new measure. The first measure is going to be what our bookings, right? Our total bookings. So I'll make it big, and then the table name is where we want to store our measure, right? Where we want to store our measure. So I'll click on the drop down and I'll choose all measure. So all measure, this is the table that we want to store all our measures in, right? So here I will say bookings or total bookings, right? Perfect. So with the bookings, let me make it large. What we are going to do is we are going to count the rows, right, in the bookings table, right? Or you can also do distinct count, right? So the count rows need a table. So the table is what the bookings table, right? Perfect. So when you check the formula, everything is working perfectly. So this is a number. You're going to select a whole number and then comma separator and hit OK. So the same bookings, we can also use what distinct count, right? Perfect. So when you use distinct count, you have to make sure you are going to use a column, right? Perfect. Oh, sorry. Our next measure is going to be what the total revenue. So the revenue that we are getting from what our clients or our customers. So this is what all measures. That's perfect. This we are going to see total revenue, and then I'll make it big. And I'll say the revenue is going to be what sum of what the total cost in the bookings table, right? Sum of the total cost in the bookings table, right? So this is the total cost column, and this is what the table, right? Perfect. So I'll check my formula. There's a currency, and I'll say no decimal place, and then I'll hit OK. So this is the total revenue. Do you see that? Perfect. So the next measure is going to be what should you write? Maybe total destinations, right? So new measure. So we want to see all the destinations, the number of destinations that our customers visited in a year, right? In a year. So this is going to be total destination, or we can say, okay, let's say total destinations. Perfect. Now this one too, we are going to distinct count the destination name, right? Destination name, right? In the destinations table. So close it, check. This should be a number. This is what a whole number. Then you can hit OK. So we have what 35 destinations, right? 35 destinations. Perfect. So the next one is going to be the total customers that we have, right? Or the total travelers or the total customers, whichever way you want to see it. So this one is going to total customers. Sorry, customers. Perfect. So this one too, we are just going to what count the rows in the customers table, right? Customers table. Perfect. So you can just do distinct count. And whenever you are doing distinct count, you have to use what the column name. But when you are counting rows, you have to use what the customers. Now the reason why we are just counting the customers like this is that, see, in the customers table is like it contains only unique values, right? So it means that the customers appears only once, right? If you have 50 customers, they are all appearing once, right? That's why we are just counting the customers, right? Perfect. But then if we are counting something like the bookings table, we are counting the bookings, then we have to use what a distinct, count, right? Perfect. Sorry. Let's check that everything is working perfectly. So there's a number, a whole number, then you see comma separator and it. Okay. So we have what 200 customers, right? 200 customers. Perfect. So our next measure is going to be let's see the what should we do? What should we do? What should we do? Uh the previous month, right? The previous month. Let's see the previous month. So revenue. So I'm going to say revenue PM. So PM means what? Previous month, right? So we are going to make use of we are in our dashboard. See, we have what previous month, customers, or previous month bookings, or previous month revenue. Do you see that? Yes. So this is what we are going to do. So this is what the previous month revenue. So this one we are going to say calculate. Now the expression is going to be is it revenue? Okay, let's see. Is it revenue? Okay, so take revenue, the total revenue, comma, come down, and then we are going to use the date add function. Now the date add function moves the given set of dates by specific intervals, right? So because we are going to do the previous month, we have to use the date add, right? So the date add this date, so we are going to use our date table, right? The bookings date in our date table, right? Perfect. Super. So the number of intervals, so what we are saying is that we want to go back one, right? So if we are in maybe February, we want to go back one to maybe January. Do you get? If we are in March, we want to go back one to February. Do you see that? So this is going to be what? Minus one. You see that? Perfect. Come, and then the interval is going to be what? This month here, function here. Then when you close it, and then when you close it again, when we check formula, see everything is working perfectly, right? Yes. So this is revenue, currency, no decimal place, and then check that here. All right. So this is the revenue that we have. Let's go new measure. So this is going to be our bookings previous month, right? The previous month bookings. So I'm going to say bookings PM. So if in case you don't understand anything, just pause the video and then you go back and then you rewatch, right? Perfect. So this one too is going to be the same thing here, but this time around we are going to pass in what the bookings measure, right? The bookings measure. So this is it, because you are dealing with what bookings. Then this is going to be what date add, and then date table bookings column. So this is what date table, and then what the column is what the bookings date. Perfect. All right. So comma, we are going back one, comma, and then the month function here. Close it again. And we check formula. See. All right. So you see all measures, especially refers to multiple columns. Okay. So what is happening here? Bookings. Okay. So we didn't put it in a square bracket, right? We didn't put that in a square bracket. So when you check that again, see it is working now. So at first it was, just bookings, but then when you put it in a square bracket, it means you are referencing what the measure that we've written, right? Perfect. So this is a number, so we check number, then whole number, check comma separator and hit. Okay. Perfect. So let's go. Our new measure is our new measure. The measure name is going to be what? The customers PM, right? Customers PM. So previous month customers, right? Perfect. So it's the same thing. This one we are putting in what total customers, comma, and then this is going to be date add. The date table bookings column. Do you see that? Comma. We are going back one, so minus one. Then the month function here. I believe you understand everything. So check, see everything is working. So this is a number. There should be a whole number with comma separator and then hit OK. Perfect. I think it's left with some few measures and then we are done. So this is going to be, so we have revenue, bookings, customers, and then okay, let's now move to revenue, month over month revenue percentage, right? So we are seeing the percentage growth, right? We are seeing the percentage growth. Perfect. So okay, let's see. All right, so with this one, I already have the measure written, right? So I'll just copy and then paste it here, and I'll explain it to you, right? Perfect. So now, what we are saying here is we are var, right? So in programming, in Python and the rest of the programming that we have. So whenever you hear var, right? Var means what? A variable. Then the variable is that what we mean by variable is that the variable or the var is used to store something, right? So the var is used as a container, right? It is used as a container. So we store something and then we use it later. So here we are saying var, then we are storing current month. The name that we are giving to the uh, var here, right? The name that we are giving to this here is what current month revenue, right? The current month revenue, and then what we are storing is what we are storing what the total revenue, right? We are storing total revenue. So in the future, when we call current month revenue, we are storing what it will return what total revenue. Do you see that? Perfect. And then this val means this second val is what the name is what the previous month. Now the function or the formula for the previous month's revenue calculation is what calculate the total revenue, comma date add blah blah blah. So what we did previously, right? What we did previously. So just the calculate function, and then with the calculate function, we are passing in the expression is what the total revenue, and then what the filter context is what date add blah blah blah. This one we understand this, right? Perfect. So what we are saying is that return we are returning this that we have stored if it is not blank, right? If the previous month revenue, that's this function, right, it's not blank, then what we have to do is you have to divide the current month minus the previous month, right? So it is the current month minus the previous month divided by, that's what the denominator, by what the previous month, right? Perfect. So this is what we have here. Now, you see, the reason why we did the current month and then the previous month is that anytime we want to, reference this function, right? Anytime you want to reference this function, we don't have to write it again, right? We don't have to write it again. So in the future here, you see, this function, this calculate, blah 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 blah. All these functions have been stored in its previous month revenue, right? So whenever we call previous month revenue here, we are calling this function. Do you see that? Yeah. So instead of rewriting this function again and again, we just write or we just call on the previous month revenue, the var name, right? And then it will, automatically call this. Do you see that? Perfect. So this is what the revenue, uh, let me copy it. Revenue month over month percentage, right? So this is percentage, so I'll check. I'll say this is a percentage, no decimal place, and then I'll say okay. So we have what, 9%, right? So let's do the same thing for uh bookings month over month percentage, right? Bookings month over month percentage. This time around, I'm going to write it so that you see what I'm saying. So bookings month over month percentage, right? Perfect. So now when you come here, I'm going to say var, right? Let me make it, and I'm going to say underscore uh current. Let me make it current. Sorry, current month. Sorry, month bookings. So the first one was revenue, right? And then we are going to store this bookings, total bookings that we have here. You see that? Perfect. Now our second var, sorry, our second var is going to be underscore. This one is going to be what? Previous month bookings, and then it is going to be what? The calculate function. Now we will pass in what? The bookings measure, right? Sorry. Let's pass in the bookings measure, comma, and then the filter context, or the filter is going to be -1, right? Comma. Oh, sorry. We have to, so the comma, then will come down, or we can write it here. So it's going to be our date add, right? It's going to be our date add, and then we'll pass in our date table bookings date. Do you see that? Comma. Then we will go back -1, comma, and then we will use our month function here. Perfect. So this is what we have here, right? If you want, you can bring this one down here and slant it like this. Sorry. Do you see that? Perfect. So it means, sorry. So do you see that? Perfect. So this one will mean these are the same thing, right? This is the same thing. So what we are going to do, anytime you use anytime you use, oh sorry, anytime you use var, you have to make sure you return it, right? You return, oh sorry, okay, perfect. I'm coming. All right, so let's see, let's return it. Return, it should be in capital letters, so you make sure you return it. So return, then by return we are going to say if uh enter, see, not blank. Is it not blank? All right, so if it's not blank, rather, yes, it's not blank, then it's not blank, then you call in what, the previous month, right? So see underscore, well, the moment I bring my underscore, you see the names that I've given to my variables, right? So I'll just double click and then close it. Then when I come down, I'll say, then if it is not blank, then I'll say divide, should be, okay, comma. So if the result is true, then we are going to say divide the current month, so underscore, sorry, underscore current month minus underscore previous month, comma, and then the denominator is going to be what? Underscore previous month. Do you see that? Perfect. Perfect. So this is what we have, right? This is what we have. So I decided to write it again so that you appreciate or understand everything I'm doing. So let's check formula. Everything is working perfectly. So this should be a number, and this should be a whole number. And hit OK. So this is the percentage, right? It is saying 0%. Don't worry, you see if you are getting the correct thing. And then let's see. Okay, so let's go to new measure. Then this time around, the measure is going to be customers month over month, right? So this is going to be customers month over month percentage. Then I'll go to just paste it like this, right? Just paste it like this, and I'm going to edit. So this one is going to be current month customer. Do you see that? Perfect. And then this is going to be current month. So instead of revenue, we are going to see customer. So the previous month customer, right? Perfect. So here we are going to pass in the total customers, not total customers. Do you see that? Perfect. And then here return if not, it's not blank. Then here this one too, instead of revenue, it is going to be what? Customer. Then here instead of revenue, it is going to be what? Customer. And then instead of revenue, it's going to be customers. Just follow what I'm doing and then you appreciate it. This is going to be your customer. So see, we don't have any error. So check function. This is customer. So this is a number. Okay, it should be a percentage rather. Do you see that? Yes. So percentage. Right. So we need okay. I think that's the reason why we had zero for this one, right? We are having zero for this one. So we are getting some funny number here, right? So let's uh, edit the month over one customer, not this one. This one, edit. It should be a percentage, but we are getting some funny number, right? Mm-hmm. All right, should be a number, percentage. Okay, and then the month over month bookings, right? The bookings to let's edit that. It should be a percentage, not a whole number, right? Zero decimal place. Okay. Now let's see what will happen here. This is 9%, perfect. But this we don't. Why is it happening like this? So let's still edit it. The customers month over month. So everything is working perfectly. Okay. Why is it happening like this? Alright, so let's come here and then let's see. Percentage. Still showing us this. Come, let's duplicate this. Sorry. Let's exit this. Come, let's see. is it showing us 44 percentage? All right, so let's go back to Power Pivot, manage measures, and then customer edit. I don't know if the problem is coming from this place. So we don't have any problem here, right? So current month customer. Oh, okay, that's, you see the reason why we are having this funny number here. So this should be what? Total customers, not total revenue. So let's pass in total customers like this. Do you see that? Perfect. Yes. So this is total customers. This should also be total customers. I think that's where the problem was coming from. Perfect. So let's click OK. On the exit, you see perfect. So this is what 0%. All right. So now let's see. So I'll just right click, show field list, and then because I have all my fields here, what I'm going to do, let me change the design, right, the color. So I'll change the color to this, and I'm going to remove all the other colors. Okay, we are not done, right? We are not done. I think it's left with 3 measures, so let's add them and then we'll be good to go. So this is going to be completed bookings, right? Completed bookings. So here it's very simple. We are going to see calculate. The expression is going to be take the bookings, the filter context is going to be where the this should not be this, right? It should be bookings, the bookings column, right? Sorry, where the status, right, where the booking status is equal to in bracket completed, right? So this is what we have here. Let's close it. Let's check. Okay, so then it should be the total bookings, right? The bookings measure. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So it should be the bookings measure that we have, right? Perfect. And then I'm going to see this is a number, a whole number. So let's see what will happen here. Okay, let's add this to this. Let's see the number that we get. Okay, this is perfect, this is correct. Let me go to new measure. It's left with 2 other measures, and then we are going to see pending booking. So the pending and then the completed and everything, it is in our data. So you make sure you understand the data, the columns, and before you move on, right? So calculate. This is going to be our bookings, comma, where the status, right, the status column in the bookings table is equal to pending, right? Perfect. So when you check everything is working perfectly, this should be a whole number. And okay, so the last measure, right? This is the last measure. Sorry, but this is going to be what? Cancelled bookings, right? Perfect. So the same thing, calculate the total bookings, sorry, comma, where the status or where the booking status in the bookings column table is equal to what? Equal to cancelled. Perfect. So when you check that, it's working perfectly. Whole number, comma separator. Perfect. So this is what we have, right? This is what we have. All right. Now this is what we have. Perfect. Perfect. So now we are done with we are done writing all our DAX, measures or calculations. So it is now time for us to start designing the dashboard, right? Perfect. So before that, I'm going to remove some of the things here from the pivot table so that we will have some small amount of things to deal with here. Okay, so it will be left with this 4, right? Perfect. So I'll just add a new sheet, or double click on this, and then I'll rename this to what? Dashboard. And I'll double click on this and see this is what our analysis sheet. Sorry. Analysis sheet. Perfect. So on the dashboard, I'll go to view. I'll turn off the grid lines. Then I'll also turn off the headings. Right. Perfect. So we have a canvas like this. Right. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is to just do Control A to select everything. I'll come to home, and then the background, I'll go to more colors, custom, and then the background color, the custom color I'm going to use is 6251E51, and I'll say okay. So this is the background color I'm going to use, right? Perfect. So the background color, I'm going to insert 2 circles. So I'll hold my control, set a circle like this. I'll say control 1. The line color, I'll say no line. The fill color, I'm going to say it should be a custom color. Then the custom color is going to be this yellow color. So it's going to be F5 D465. F5 D465. So this is it. But then I'll make it a gradient color. Right, a gradient color. And what do you call it? I'll delete one of the stops. So the yellow will come here and the white will come here. Do you see that? Perfect. So it will be something like this. Then the white, I'm going to make it this color. This white, I'm going to make it this color. Do you see that? So something like this. So I'll position it here. Sorry. Position it here. Sorry. So the dashboard design, for it to be professional, you have to take your time, right? You have to take your time and then do it nicely. Perfect. So I think this is okay, right? This is okay. So I'll duplicate this and I'll position this one here. Sorry. So something like this. You see that? Perfect. So this one will go back a little. So something like this. Alright, just have to play along with it. All right, so now I'll insert another shape, this rounded rectangle here, and I'll play, or I'll just remove this. Now to be on the same page, let's make sure we have the same thing, right? So the first one is going to be, the height is going to be 6.57. Okay, and then the width is going to be 12.29. Perfect. So this is what we have here, right? Perfect. So you take your time and make it nicely, right? Perfect. So I'm just going to do control one. I'll say no line. The fill color is going to be, we'll go to more colors. Then the fill color, let's make it CBCFC8. So CBCFC8. Okay, so this is the color, right? I'll duplicate this, and then I'll make it this color should be a gradient color, something like this, right? Perfect. So I'll add one stop. Let's see. This should be 83. So select this stop. So these things are called stops, right? Bring it here to maybe 74. Perfect. Now we are going to change the color, right? So select the first one. The color should be go to more colors. So let's make it FD FD FC, right? So something like maybe a white. Okay. Okay, I see. Then the black color is going to be our yellow color, right? So we have our yellow color here. This black too is going to be our yellow color. And then what's happening? Alright, so let's add another stop. This should be here, and this should be our white color. Do you see that? Yes. So this should be, oh, let's add another stop. The yellow should be here. Perfect. So this is what I want, right? Something like this. Then this should be okay. I think this should be 74. Okay, and then this should be 100%. We have to get some last one here. All right, so I think this is okay, right? Yes. So you see something like this is white, is yellow, so gradient, right? Perfect. So this is what we want. And let's play with the shape, the size. This is going to be, let's see, 6.45. Perfect. And then this is going to be 12.18. All right, perfect. So something like this. Do you see what we're having here? Perfect. So this is what we want, right? This is what we want. Now let's see what next. Let's bring the a text box. So let's insert a text box, something like this, and then we are going to say Chris travels. Perfect. So we'll select the shape like the text box like this so that you can move it around. the family is going to be Kandara, right? Kandara. Enter. Let's make it maybe 18. Select the text box, control 1. Then we are going to see no line, no fill. Do you see that? Perfect. So I think this should be 20. Let's position it here. I think 18. Let's see. 18 is okay. All right. Let's position it here. With the dashboard, you have to really take your time and then do it nicely. Perfect. So now let's bring our icon, right? Let's go and bring our icon. So I'll leave a link in the description to download the icons and then the data set. So make sure you check that out so that you can follow me step by step. So there's the icons. First of all, I'll go with this. Perfect. I'll make it smaller and I'll play along with it like this. So something like this. It's not bad. And I'll make sure I'll center this. So you see it, perfect. This is what we want, perfect. So now I'll come here, go to insert shape. I'll insert this shape. I'll draw a shape like this. Then the roundness should be like this, right? You see it, perfect. So I'll say no line, and then I will say this should be probably should be at the top, and then it should be white. This is our white color. You see that, perfect. So I'll duplicate. I'll make this one smaller like this. I'll position this one between this, and I'll make it black. Let's see, we have a very dark color here, right? We have a dark color here. So let's see. All right, I think it should be this dark, but I think we have a more darker color. Okay, so this dark, let's make it, let's go to more colors. This should be 303030, right? Should be more dark, perfect. Yes, so it means you have this light dark and then we have this deep dark, right? Perfect. So this is what I want to have, right? This is what I want to have. So what I'll do is I will make sure this properly aligned like this. Do you see that? Let's make it big. Perfect. So I'll duplicate the text box, Control D. Let's center. Perfect. So something like this, right? And I'm going to name this as what? Dashboard. I'm going to reduce the size to maybe 14, and I'll make it white. This white. Right. Now position this one here. It should be, I think it's too dark, right? Let's make it this white. Perfect. Let's make it smaller. Perfect. So let's go and bring an icon, right? So insert this. Okay, we will need this, and then you will need this for now, right? So this two is okay for now. So let's minimize them. Perfect. So select this, position this one here. Do you see that? Perfect. So we are going to duplicate this, position it here, then we are going to rename it what? To bookings. Bookings like this, and then you send this one here. So bookings. Do you see that? Perfect. So I'll select this, select this. Let's make sure they are properly aligned to the bottom. Perfect. And I'll bring this one something like this. Is not bad. You see that? Perfect. So I'll select this, select this. I should leave it like this. I think this is okay, right? So select this shape, select this shape. Sorry, sorry, this shape. Let's align them to the top. Do you see that? Perfect. So we are making progress, right? We are making progress. So I'll duplicate this, position this one here, then I'll say this is what means this we are on the dashboard. Perfect. So this is what we have, right? This is what we have. This is amazing. All right. So what else? What else? What else? All right. So let's go and bring in this shape around this, something like this. Let's reduce the roundness like this. Perfect. Position it here. Control 1. You can see no line, and then the fill should be this dark color here, right? Perfect. So duplicate this. This is going to be white. Duplicate, duplicate, right? Perfect. Okay. So I think let's reduce the size a little. So something like this. Perfect. So delete, delete, delete. Duplicate. Right. Control 1. This should be our white color. Duplicate, duplicate. Right. You should. Okay. Let's go back. I think this is okay. This is okay, right? Perfect. So let's show this one here, this one here, this one here. So select all the shapes, holding your control, come to shape format, align, and then you see distribute horizontal, right? Then align to the top. Perfect. So this is what we have, right? Sorry. Now let's focus on the KPI, right? Let's focus on bringing in the KPI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, and I'll position it here. I'll make sure I'll reduce the size to 12, and I'll say this is what bookings, right? Perfect. So this, let me make it left align, duplicate this one. Let's change the color to maybe something like this. Yes, this should be our revenue, or you can say total revenue, right? Whatever you want. Let's say total revenue. Perfect. All right, let's duplicate. This should be our destination or total destinations. Destinations, right? We can say, okay, we can say this is our total customers, rather total customers, and then this will be our total destinations, right? Perfect. So this is what we have. Please make sure you take your time and then you design the dashboard nicely. Okay. Sorry. Perfect. So select all the text box like this. Oh, sorry. Let's go to shape format. Let's align them to the top. Perfect. So what we are going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, bring this one here. Now I'll bring in my formula bar. Then here, okay, before that, let's make sure we format this. All right, let's format this. So select this, Control 1, come to custom, and then we are going to see, okay, so select this, let's clear everything and then see square bracket greater than or equal to 1 million, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If it is greater than or equal to 1 million, close it, bring your dollar sign, sorry, dollar sign, 0, comma, what is happening? Okay, so this should be square brackets, right? Okay, so bring your dollar sign, sorry, your dollar sign, 0, comma, dot 0, so one decimal place, right? Okay, let's make it no decimal place, into bracket, sorry, double quote, million, right? So semicolon, the same thing, greater than or equal to 1,000, 1,000, the same thing, dollar sign, this one the comma will be 1, to bracket, key, then close, sorry, double quote, close the double quote like this, then hit OK. So you see this becomes what? Very simple as 9 million. Perfect. So now let's select this, select it like this, equal to, let's come here and then reference the bookings. So, okay. So don't worry about the test. Okay, for now let's format it before. So let's make it white. Right. Or it shouldn't be white, it should be this color. Or let's check our main dashboard. Okay, it should be black rather. Okay, so this black should be our orange, yellow color, right? My bad. So this, right, perfect. And this should be, go to test, should be our black color. And this should be also be our black color, like this, right? Perfect. So this, the format, the family is going to be Kandara. Let's make it big. Something like this is not bad. Let's reduce it to maybe 28. You see that? Perfect. Alright, so let's duplicate. This should be our total revenue. Total revenue should be 9 million. Let's duplicate. Forget about the number right now. The total customers should be this 200. And then let's duplicate. Then the destination should be equal to this destination. Perfect. So what we can do is select this, double click on the brush, paste it here, paste it here, and then paste it here. Escape to exit. So this is going to be perfect. Use it. This something like this, right? Perfect. So select this, send it to the top. Before that, this. Okay, so this should go to the top like this. Select this. Deselect this. Select this, and then shape format align to the top. Right. Perfect. So let's select this. Hold your control. Select this. Also align these ones to the top. Perfect. Now I'll duplicate this, bring this one here, make it maybe 10. Okay, bring it here, and I'm going to say last month. You see that? Perfect. So bring in the last month here. I think there should be something like 8. 10 is not bad. Then I think we should, make this one a little bit long. So the width is 1.18. This one too should be 1.18. Oh, sorry. 1.81 rather. So 1.81. So okay. I think, sorry, should be this, right? So 1.91. So let's make it 991. See, 91. This one too should be 91. Perfect. So let's bring this one here. Let's select the shapes. Let's align them. Sorry. Align them to the, so distribute horizontally, right? So I think this is okay. So bring this one. Perfect. Perfect. This one too should be this. Sure, I think everything is working perfectly now, right? So the last month I will duplicate this, paste this one here, duplicate. So we don't need the last month for this. So I'll select this, bring it down a little, select this, let's align to the top. Perfect. So this is what we have, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, position this one here, right? Make it smaller like this, and then I'll come here, I'll select this, copy this, I'll paste this one here. Now this time around I'm going to get rid of this, and then I'll bring in the previous, right? So you see we worked with the previous, or we did the calculation for the previous month. So we have what? Bookings PM, revenue PM, customers PM. You see that? Perfect. So I'll select this, paste, copy this, paste this one here. Perfect. So ignore this, right? Because this one is for the whole year, right? Yeah, so I'll select this like this, equal to, so this is bookings, right? and then I'll select this. So for now, I'm going to make it very. So I'm going to make it the same thing as this Kandara, and I will make it maybe 11. Do you see that? Perfect. So yes, bring this one here. So something like this is not bad, right? Something like this. So let's make it 12. Perfect. So I'll duplicate this, position it here, and then the revenue is going to be this, right? Duplicate this, and then the customer is going to be this. Perfect. So we are getting different numbers because you see we've not selected any slicer, right? Yes. So that's why you're having this. So I'll bring this one here, bring this one here, right? So select them like this. Let's align to the top. Perfect. So everything is working perfectly. So this is what we have, right? Now I think we should have a shape, right? A small shape for the percentage. So something like this. It should be this. So do you see that? Yes. So I'll say no line. Are we having a line? Okay, so I'll go to shape options. I'll say no line. Perfect. No line. Perfect. So I'll bring this one here. Let me check if we are on the same page. Alright, so it should rather be this, right? Yes, so can make it smaller like this. So you take your time and then you do it nicely, okay? So this one will show the percentage change, right? I'll make it is it black or okay, I'll make this one black. I'll duplicate it. Okay, so this shapes should be black, right? Should be black so that we will be on the same page, right? Then this should be white. So yes, this should be white. So this white. So I'll select this, select this, select this, select this. Then I'll make it this white color. You see that? Perfect. So when I this duplicate, I'll make it white. Okay, so we'll go to shape format. Let's make it white. Duplicate it. Bring it here. Let's make, okay. So you see, we are using consistent colors, right? Yeah. So to make your dashboard professional, you have to make sure the color that you use they are what professional. They are consistent, right? You don't use so many colors. So let's now when I come here, I'll try and then sorry, I'll try and copy this and then paste it here, and then I'll remove this and then bring in my what month bookings, right? Month to month booking. So revenue and then customers. Do you see that? Yes. So don't worry about these numbers because you have not insert any slicer. So when you insert the slicer for the previous month, it will reflect this is 7. So let's change this color to go to test options. Let's change it to white. You see that? Yes. So let's minimize it and let's make it Kandara. So let's center it. Sorry. It should be our Kandara. Sorry, it should be our Kandara. Perfect. Oh, this is too big. Let's make it 12. Perfect. So let's duplicate this. For that, let's make the text black. Right. Now let's go and reference the revenue. Sorry, revenue percentage. And let's duplicate it. Then go and reference the customer percentage. So you don't have to worry. When we select this, double click on this, paste it here, escape. Now we are going to make this one what? Black. This is what we have here. Perfect. So this is what we are trying to get, right? This is what we've been trying to get. All right, so we are making a lot of progress here. Before that, before you continue, if you have not subscribed or liked this video, I will advise or I will plead with you to, like or subscribe to this video so that you this channel will grow and then we will also bring you, professional, dashboards. Perfect. So we've made a lot of progress here. So what we are going to do is let's duplicate this, position this one here. All right. Now let's change the shape, the height and then the width. The height is going to be 2.25 and the width is going to be 4.93. Perfect. Now we can change the color. The color should be control one, should be our white color, right? So if you check, we are using consistent color. So the color that we are using is what? Yellow, white, black. Yellow, white, black. Do you see that? Yeah. So in the future, if you are building or creating a dashboard for your company or your boss, you make sure you use 2 to 3 colors, right? 2 to 3 colors, so that you'll be consistent in whatever that you are doing. Perfect. So let's see. Now, in this analysis, what we are going to do is to get the total revenue for the month, right? For the various months. So I will copy this. I'm going to paste it here. So I'll just differentiate this from this. Sorry, use this green color. So just to differentiate this from this, right? Perfect. So this is going to be our total revenue. So I'll bring in my total revenue. So this is the total revenue. Sorry, total revenue. Right. And then I'll go to my date table and then I'll bring in my what? The month name, not the month number. Right. Perfect. So here, when you check here, see what is happening here. Instead of the month to start from January and then ends at December, it is starting from April and then it's ending at what? September. Now ask yourself, what could be the reason? It means that you have not what, sorted the month, right? You have not sorted the month. So what we are going to do is we are going to go to Power Pivot, come to Manage. So when you click on Manage, let's go to the date table here. See the tables are here. Go to the date table, select the month name, right? Select the month name, and then you see on the home tab, you see sort by column. Click on it, and then we are sorting the month name by what? The month number. That's why we brought the month number in our analysis, right? So click OK. Then you are going to do the same thing for day name, right? The day name. So if you don't sort it, it will start from maybe Tuesday and then ends at whatever date, right? So sort it. So select the day name, sort by, then we are going to sort by what? The day of the week. So the day of the week is the number, right? So it will start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 6. Said another operation is in progress. So now we click on OK. So unhandled, good, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's cancel it. Let's select it again. Sort by column. And let's sort by day of week and then hit OK. Perfect. Now everything is working perfect. Now we can switch to our uh, workbook, and then you see now it's from what? January to what? December. Now let's clear the grand total. Let's make sure this shows as what? Month. So let's go to design, grand total off for rows and column, and then report layout show in tabular form. So this is what we have here, right? Perfect. Now we want to highlight the top month and then what? The top uh the low month, right? The highest and then the lowest, right? Perfect. So let's extract our data from Power Pivot. Sorry, the pivot table like this. Select this, copy the format, then paste it here. Perfect. So now, watch here. I'm going to name this as what? Highlight. And the highlight, you can say this is 1, this is 12, right? Because it starts from 1 and ends at what? 12. So we are going to say equal to, using the large function. So we are, this is the array, F4 to lock it, comma, then you select what? The first number, right? So this one we don't have to lock it because we are going to copy it down. So enter, sorry, perfect. So select this, copy this, and then paste it on this. So it means that the highest number is what? 772, right? 772, that's July, and the lowest number is 706, that's what? February. You see that? Perfect. So let us return these numbers here, right? These two numbers, let's return this here. So it is going to be equal to, if this logical test, right, is equal to this number here, right? So F4 to locate, then Excel should return, if it is true, and return the value that is here, comma. Okay, so let me come back. We should use the F's function rather, right? So because they are multiple, it is two. So we are saying if the number here is equal to the number here, F4 to log this number, then Excel should return this number. That's logical test 1. Logical test 2 is if this number is equal to this number, F4 to locate, then Excel should return this number. Close it with enter. You get NA, right? So if you don't want to, okay, before that, let me drag it like this. If you don't want to get the NA, right, you have to wrap your formula with what? If error, then this, we are saying if it is error, if it is not true, then let's get what? Blank. If it is not true, let's get blank, right? Perfect. So enter. So instead of NA, we are seeing blank, right? Perfect. So copy this, select this, paste it here. Do you see that? Perfect. So now we can, insert our chart, right? So the chart, we will use these first two columns to insert the chart, the month chart line. It should be a line, right? Perfect. So let's get rid of this. Sorry, get rid of this. Get rid of this. And then we can right click, go to select data, add data, and then the series name is what? Highlight. And then the number that we want to select is what? From here to here. You see that? Okay, sorry, my bad. It should be how do you call it? Data label rather, right? It should be a data label. So click on the plus, hover on data label, click on the icon, and then go to more options. Sorry for that. Then the data label, we only want to represent the first, the top, and then the bottom, right? So just check value from cell, and then you are going to select this, hit OK, and then we are going to deselect the value here. Do you see that? Perfect. So the position should be below. Do you see that? Perfect. So this is what we have, right? This is what we have. All right. So now we can cut it to our dashboard like this, right? So control one, we are going to say no line, no fill. No line, no fill, right? So when you move it, you see we don't have any line, we don't have any fill. So this is what we have here. Perfect. So now I will select the below one. I'll come here and then I'll make it red, right? And then I'll make the text to be hot white. And I'll select the above and I'll make the background. Sorry. I'll make it, the label should be our yellow color. Oh, sorry. This is on test rather. So the test is going to be black. Okay. Let's see. This should be yellow color. Do you see that? Perfect. So this is what we have, right? This is what we have. So whoever takes the dashboard, so let's make the line. I think the line should be our yellow color like this, right? Perfect. So this is what we have, right? This is what we have. So we can now bring in uh this. Let's make the text black. It's showing below it, right? So bring to front. So now we can see in which month did we get the highest revenue. So we are asking the question, and then this chart will, uh, explain the question, right? Perfect. So you see this here. Perfect. So this is what we have, right? This is what we have. All right. So now I want to have another chart, right? But then this time around, this chart, this second chart should have uh the days, right? The days. So watch here. I'm going to insert a very small shape like this. Perfect. I'll say no line. And then the fill color, the first one is going to be this color, right? And I will duplicate it. So something like this. So here I'll edit text and then I'll put in M to mean what? Month, right? Come here, go to home, center it like this, right? Perfect. So I'll do the same thing, right? Click edit text and I'll say day. So this one will be what? A weekday, right? So I'll center it like this. So this should be our Kandara because we have to be consistent. And this should also be perfect. Should also be what? Our Kandara. Perfect. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this duplicate, right? And I'll make this one to be this black. You see that? Perfect. And I'm going to make this to be to also duplicate this, position this on top of it, and make this one to what? Black. Don't worry, you are going to see what I'm doing very soon. Perfect. So watch here. Now let's come here, select this, copy, and then let's see, paste this one here, right? So let's differentiate them as always. Now instead of showing this month, you will show what? The day of the week. So the day name, right? Perfect. The day name. So now this one too, we want to, highlight the top and then the bottom, right? So let's extract it from the pivot table. So this is what we have. Perfect. So this is also going to be the same thing. One, and then this is going to be seven. So one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So the seventh number here, right? So this is what I'm trying to do. When you check the completed version, when you click on day, see, when you click on month, you see you have the month. But when you click on day, you have the day. Do you see that? Yes. So this is what I'm trying to get. So let me exit this. Perfect. So that is that. So it's large F4 to lock it, comma. The key should be this. Then let's copy it down. Select this, paste it on this. You see that? So the highlight, sorry, there should be highlight. All right, so it will be the same thing as the previous one. If, sorry, if this is equal to this, F4 to lock it, then return this, comma, if this is equal to the second one, F4 to lock it, sorry, comma, then return this one, right? Close it, enter. Any, let's wrap our formula in if error, then you say this should be what? Blank. So this is what we have right now. You get it? Perfect. So let's copy the format here. You see that? Yes. So this one, right? Let's do control one and then choose our format. Ah, okay. Dollar sign zero, right? So dollar sign is zero. So this is what we have. Let's copy, format it on this. Copy, sorry, copy, format it on this. Perfect. And then this one you will leave it as it is, right? So let's set this time around. We are going to also insert a line, right? You can insert a bar chart or whatever. And I prefer this. Now, sorry, when I come here, I'll select the line, control one, and I'll make it a smooth line. So you see smooth line, click on smooth line. Perfect. So the line is smooth. This one too, I'll select this, control one, select this, come here, and I'll make it what? A smooth line. You see that? Perfect. So I'll come here, right click. Sorry, this I'll click on the plus. Over on data label, click here, more options, value, then the value is this. You see that? Then hit OK, and then I will deselect this value. You see that? And then the position should be below, right? Perfect. So I'm going to select only this one, control one. The color should be red, solid color should be red. You see that? The test color should be what? Or white. This one, the test color should be black. And then our color should be the yellow color, like this. You see that? Perfect. So I'll minimize it like this. Cut it. Come here. Select the shape. Paste it here. And then I'll see. Okay. What is happening? Okay. Let's go back. Let's cut this again. Select the shape. Control V. Right. Perfect. And I'll say no line, no fill, no line. Bring it down. Something like this. Perfect. Perfect. So okay, you see they are showing at the same time, right? They are showing at the same time. So what I can do is I can okay, let's duplicate. Okay, but before that, right, before that, let's bring the day here and let's duplicate this here. Right. So watch here, watch closely. So I'll select the chart, hold my control, select the label. Okay, for now, this is what I'm going to do. Minimize this a little. So I'll select the chart like this, select the label, and then select this month. Right. So I'll right click and then I'll group them. Sorry. So select this one first, select this, and then select the chart. Right click, hover on group, and then group. Right, perfect. Oh, sorry. So select this, select this, select this. Okay, group. We've grouped them. So now we want to get the headlines so that we can rename. Okay, let's get the grid lines as well. Okay, so we can rename this to what? Uh let's see, month revenue. Make sure you don't have any space between them. Okay. So the moment you press enter, this has been grouped, right? Now let's go to developer. Okay, I have to cancel this one before we move on. Sorry. Perfect. So I'll sorry, go to developer, visual basics, and click on dashboard. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I have to write VBA codes, right? I have to write VBA code. So I'm going to write a very simple code. If you don't understand, don't worry. Right? If you don't understand, don't worry. Just follow what I'm doing and then you understand it. Right? Perfect. So if you don't understand, don't worry about it. So the code is very simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say sub, and I'm going to name this as what, the month's revenue, because we renamed it as what, month's revenue. I'll say dim obj. If you have been watching my previous videos, you see they are the same thing, right? It's the same thing that I mean writing. So you set the obj to be equal to what, active sheet dot shapes, and then the name that we gave to the shape is what, our month, to the group is what, month's revenue. And we are going to say if obj dot visible is equal to mso true, then obj dot visible is equal to mso false, right? Else obj dot visible should be equal to mso true, then we end the if, right? Perfect. So when you run it and nothing happens, it means it is working, right? Perfect. So watch here. I'm going to select only this month, right? I'll right click, then I'll click on assign macro. Then this is the macro that you wrote, month revenue, and then assign it to it, right? So when I click on this, it should hide, right? Perfect. So I'll select this one again, right click, and then assign it to the second sheet, right? So when I click on this, it will come back. When I click on it, it will go off. You see that? Perfect. So this is what we are trying to get. Now I'll bring the I'll bring this one to here, minimize this, and then I will say in which day. Do you see that? Perfect. So now I can position this one here. So just follow what I'm doing and you understand. Perfect. So I think this one should come down a little. Perfect. So the line should have this color. It's too deep. I think let's give it this color. Okay. Perfect. Now we can also group it and then select this. Sorry. So this should come down a little bit. So select this, hold your control, select this, and then select the chart. Then right click, then let's group them, right? So now we can rename this what to month, or sorry, day revenue, and then hit enter, right? So we go back to Visual Basics, copy this, Control C, paste it here, and then we are going to rename this to what, day revenue, and then rename this to what, day revenue. So select anywhere, run it, it is working. Now select only this D here, assign macro, then let's assign the day revenue to it. So when you run it, see it is hidden. Select this, assign it again, day revenue. Then when you run it again, it should come back. Do you see that? Perfect. So this is what we are trying to get, right? This is what we are trying to get. Perfect.